Okay, we have a good one for you guys today. Jay Cutler on the Olympia stage. How does Jay Cutler look against today's competitors? This is a voted on video. I would like to do the rest of them. I really would. But I need this video up to 300 likes. Get it up to 300 likes, I will do all of those other requests. They're all over 10%. But anyway, where does Jay place at the Olympia? We're never going to know. First of all, I'm not a judge, and you have to be there, you have to be a judge to figure out where he's going to place. This video, I guess, is to see how Jay Cutler looks against these competitors. At least if we're using pictures, for the most part, us fans, that's all we ever get to see, videos and pictures, so we can estimate, guesstimate, if you will, on how this specimen, this four-time Mr. Olympia champion, stacks up against Hadi Choopan, Derek Lunsford, and of course, Mr. Olympia himself, Samson Dauda. Well, if you think about it, Derek was Mr. Olympia here in this picture. It was before he lost. But having said that, Jay Cutler, he is very dominant in this front double. And it is not even an Olympia winning version of him. Keep that in mind. A lot of people said he did defeat Ronnie King Coleman in 2001. On paper, he did not. But he sure looks good, and he is absolutely... Oh, here is the front lat spread. I could have just continued talking. He is absolutely winning the first two shots. It is easy to see. I mean, this guy is unbelievable compared to these other guys. Hadi Choopan, he has awesome quads, some of the best in the IFBB today. Not maybe the most massive, but very strided. Now, when it comes to Samson Dauda, few are more impressive than him in the quad development. But look at Jay Cutler. Look at the feathering. Look at the size of the quads. And he has a midsection second to none. What Hadi Choopan displays is the finest on the IFBB stage. And I don't disagree with that. But when we have Jay Cutler put in the lineup at the Mr. Olympia event 2024, I would suggest that he perhaps has the best midsection. And with that overall width, I think that's doing enough to defeat Samson Dauda. It goes without saying he's defeating Derek Lunsford, with all due respect to the former champion. Now, as we turn to the side, first of all, Jay looks fantastic in the side triceps. We regret to inform you that we were unable to put together a side chest pose. So, unfortunately for Jay, I believe that it's not his best pose, though. So perhaps he could actually have lost the side chest, side tricep. No way. He's beating Derek easily. He's beating Hadi Choopan quite handily. What about Samson Dauda? Well, it would be rude not to scooch Jay over next to Samson Dauda just to see. Samson has some big wheels. He has a big man's chest. There's definitely qualities about him that I prefer, but overall, I like the physique of Jay Cutler in the side tricep. Among the very best. So even if we assume that Jay Cutler lost the side chest, which it's possible that he didn't, I think we could all agree that he is winning this matchup. He is so far winning the 2024 Mr. Olympia event. But as we all know, as we turn to the back shots, we all know that the back criteria itself, the condition, the criteria of the condition has changed. Now, of course, there was exceptions. There was Ronnie King Coleman. There was Dorian Yates. Their conditioning, yes, it was just as good or better, perhaps, than nowadays guys. But you put Jay Cutler against these other three, and I'm not so sure that he is as peeled. Maybe. But it is very hard to say. One thing for sure, he's not as impressive as a Hadi Choopan in the back lat spread. You see that? Hadi Choopan, for a smaller structure, a extremely wide back. Same thing could be said about Derek Lunsford. Not as impressive as Hadi Choopan. Now, Samson, he's kind of like Jay Cutler here, with a larger frame, but the back is not as big as, say, your Hadi Choopans. So Jay Cutler, very dominant so far until we reach the back shots, and, he's holding his own. Here's the rear double biceps. And yes, I would say the same thing here. Except this time, I believe that it is Derek Lunsford who is the more impressive out of the two between him and Hadi Choopan. And maybe a little bit more impressive for Samson Dauda also in the rear double biceps, which is strange. I believe his rear lat spread used to be his better back shot. Samson about half and half for him, whereas the other two guys, obviously, the rear lat for Hadi, rear double for Derek, and with all due respect to the great Jay Cutler, he just does not have that condition, the lat insertions, the perfect, just awesome shot from Derek Lunsford. Is he beating anybody here? Condition-wise, lat insertions, I just do not see it. His arms are very impressive. His arms, food for thought, they are the most impressive in the lineup. Now, here's the abs and thigh. For the most part, I believe Jay Cutler to have a much more aesthetically pleasing abs and thigh pose than most of the bodybuilders today. Now, I say most because Hadi Choopan, his abs, like I mentioned a lot, his abs fit right in with that 1990s, the 90s lineups. And Jay Cutler, of course, he did compete in the 2000s, as 2001, so we were fresh out of the 90s. So, a victory over Samson and Derek, I would suggest also. But Hadi Choopan, that's going to be a different story altogether. Is he doing enough to defeat Hadi Choopan? Some would say yes. Some would say Jay's legendary quads are not getting a fair shake in this one. You cannot really see them clearly at all. So I think it's possible that he would win the abs and thigh. What about the most muscular? The final pose, the final say in this. And keep in mind, I began with saying, I'm not a judge. We don't know where Jay Cutler would place at the Mr. Olympia event. If he was somehow able to come into the future, what have you. I know that sounds bizarre, like a science fiction type movie, like a Back to the Future type movie situation. But it would be interesting to see, and I would be willing to bet that he would clean house, and I mean clean house, in most of the front shots, perhaps the side shots as well. But the back shots would be a different story. I believe the conditioning would not be enough to get a victory over any one of these guys in the back shots. But overall, the judges might love this physique so much like an Andrew Jack. Andrew Jack doesn't need to be as peeled as these guys to defeat them. He looks so much better than them. And Jay Cutler does as well. So I think it is no stretch of the imagination to suggest that Jay Cutler, 2001, if he came into the Olympia, he would defeat these guys and he could be crowned a 5-time Mr. Olympia champion. Wouldn't that be something? Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed this fun comparison. Just an edited picture comparison. Nobody's here to say Jay Cutler would defeat these guys. Nobody's to say, Samson would defeat Jay Cutler. Who knows? It is definitely up for debate, and that is the fun of bodybuilding. Have a great one, folks.